Ask the Messengers, the program that deals with substance abuse, real people telling real stories. Where there is addiction, there is a chance for recovery. We're trying to help save lives on Ask the Messengers.
Alcoholism is one of the biggest public health crises in the United States today, and it has been for generations. It's both legal and socially acceptable and is in our faces daily through television, movies, and just about every existing social media platform. Did you know that alcoholism is the third leading lifestyle-related cause of death in the United States, coming after tobacco and unhealthy diets and or lack of exercise? April is Alcohol Awareness Month, and on this episode, you will hear from a few people who made the decision to put the bottle down. First up, Daryl M. and Terry M. go one-on-one with myself and our street reporter, LaShawn Battle, talking about alcohol in the workplace and how companies are handling drinking on the job today. The Ask the Messengers TV show begins now. John, why don't you introduce our guests today?
Today on Ask the Messenger, we have two of my very good friends, Terry and Daryl, and they both work in the plant. All of us are long-term people in recovery, and we all have a story with the alcohol, including me, the street reporter.
Sean, let's kick it off. Let's talk about alcohol. Let's talk about it in the workplace. However you want to take this, let's go.
How was it in the workplace with alcohol from your experience? Let's start with Terry.
From my experience, it was terrible. I drank. I used to bring mine in. It was real easy bringing it in there. Then you drink before you get to work. You drink when you get off work. So it was real sad in the end of it.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Daryl? How was it for you?
Drinking it in the plant, it was normal to me just before I got there, because I was being raised around factory working people, and when they get off work, they would always come and they be drinking, and they already be high when they get to the destination. I'm talking about as a kid, and I started at the plant as a kid. Matter of fact, the day I got hired at the plant, I had got off from all the job and left my girlfriend house. And I had killed my second bottle of Royal Lodge Road. So I was drunk today. And my father took me to the plant. So that long ride out there, that wine come down on me. And thank God they gave me a broom that day and told me to sweep that out. I never would have made it putting the car together, screwing no boats that day. I never, because that wine came down on me. It was awful. Worst day of my life at the plant.
That's what I was wondering too, because so a lot of times you'll get a news report. We had several within recent past here, the firemen drinking on the job, the construction workers, these investigative reports about them drinking on the job. And they just seem like shocked and appalled that they drink on the job. I mean, isn't that kind of like it goes with the territory?
It do. I mean, because you spend most of your time at work anyway. You spend more time at work than you do home with your family. And then it become normal. You go out at lunch, you're gonna have a drink. Always kept a cooler out in the car with the beer and the liquor. And to me, I thought I worked better when I was drinking, when I was tired. And I drank every day at the plant. I did. I was a young alcoholic. I started off before the drugs even came in my life. I was a young alcoholic. I mean, even from high school. So, it just was a normal life. I thought I did everything better under the influence of alcohol. I couldn't go up in the parking lot unless I killed the beer after I parked my car, and then I go up into the plant, You
did.
But I mean, you could do your job. You didn't have no problems.
So, Daryl, you did put the car in park first. Before
I mean, I was a functional alcoholic. I thought I I thought. I did everything better on the alcohol. I worked better on the alcohol. I thought, and I did. I mean, because it had became a norm with me, in the plant. And that's all I was raised up around, with factory working guys. And, in the neighborhood, men got off from work back then in the 60s and 50s when they, they come, they get a beer. You know what I'm saying? Or they get together and they be drinking or I go over my uncles, and it was just the norm. And I'll be honest, I thought that's what you're supposed to do when you had a job. I thought that was just part of having a job, having a beer, having something to drink. To me, that was normal. To me, it was normal.
Right.
What you got for us?
Yeah, it's normal now for a lot of them. There are a lot of them that's in there. When I go through there sometimes, walking, you can see the bottles outside the plant and inside the plant. I don't know how they getting them in there, but they bringing them. Ain't nothing changed really. It's just, to me, it's just like, from my days, it's just, I say like 95% back in my time. By now it's about 85%. They still doing the same thing. But what can we do about it? Nothing. You say something to them,
right?
Try to help them.
And then alcohol is so socially acceptable.
Yes.
Yeah.
In society today.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's legal, it's accepted in society. So people really don't view alcohol as a drug.
Sure.
They look at alcohol like it's okay. This is legal and this is okay. And that's one of the number one killers.
Mm-hmm.
Because I personally didn't know alcohol was a drug until I got involved in a 12-step program.
Right.
And I heard them say alcohol is a drug. And I'm like, what?
Right.
For real?
I mean, it's the one thing. It's the one thing that you see everywhere. Even in the news in the morning, they got Wine Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday. They got stuff catered towards that. So in every TV, they drinking, they grabbing a drink. Even the church TV shows, the housewives, that's a whole nother story. But
and then right now, being in a pandemic and this depression is real.
Yep.
And most people don't have a 12-step program to go to, so they don't have no outlet. The only outlet is the bottle.
Yep. Don't go away. When Ask the Messengers comes back, LaShawn and I continue our conversation with Terry and Daryl. Stay tuned for more on the Ask the Messengers TV show.
Underage drinking is responsible for more than 4,300 deaths of youth annually. DWIHN, along with its provider partners, strive to educate young people on the deadly dangers of alcohol use and abuse. We teach youth about the dangers of drinking, especially when driving. If you are looking for resources to share with your loved one, give the Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network a call, 24/7, 800-241-4949. Here to talk, here to help. More than 2.5.
My name is Artesia Washington, and I'd like to welcome you to Irvine, Newell Rehab, where we help you reach your goals of rehabilitation. So you ask, why choose Irvine? Now here at Irvine, we offer physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech and language pathology, counseling, aquatic therapy, and massage therapy. And we help build you back to your previous level of functioning. Give us a call, 248-415-2500, www.irvinenewellrehab.com.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri, encouraging all taxpayers to please take advantage of the several payment options available.
You can pay online by visiting the Wayne County Treasurer's Office website. Paying online is easy and convenient.
You can also download the mobile app and pay with your smartphone.
You can pay at one of 70 kiosks located throughout Wayne County.
And yes, you can always still send in your payments using the U.S. Postal Service.
If you have to visit our office in person, you must make an appointment by going to treasurer.waynecounty.com. It only takes a few minutes. Facial covering or mask is required and social distancing is observed. Your health and safety is very important to us. You can also email our office at taxinfo@waynecounty.com or call us at 313-224-5990.
I got sober
when I was younger, in 2001, which I now look at it as a sort of a JV version of what really the problem is. I was sober for a couple of years, and then I thought, I want to just drink like a normal person, and I want to have wine at dinner and so on. And I was able to. I was able to for about 8 years. I started to drink more and more and more, and it was really hard for me to accept that meant I was an alcoholic. I was like, I can just go back. I was fine before. I just need to take a break. I just need to slow down. I'm okay. You know what I mean? This isn't me. And I started to drink every day. And I come home from work and I start to drink, and I just sit there and drink till I pass out on the couch. I really don't want my children to pay for my sins. For me, seeing my dad he was drunk every day, and that was just life. And as that got worse, that was really, really painful. And I always said, that'll never be me. I'm never going to do that. I wish he had been sober during those formative years, but what he's taught me is how important it is for me to be sober now during these formative years for my kids.
What is it like today in the plant? What is it like today with the drug use? Is it visible where you could see it? Are they still patting people on the back, giving people passes? What's going on today?
You ain't getting no passes now. Not in the plant.
You get sent up front, but you got the union to protect you. We protected by the union. They won't fire you if that's what you asking me. If you get sent up front because of drug or alcohol, you will not automatically get fired. If you get drugs, they'll send you in treatment. Alcohol, you'll get, I think, first penalty is 3 days off. If you blow over the limit, it's 3 days off. And it's a system that they will go within a week. After a month, you will get terminated. By then, you should be on when and got help or something, but you protected by the union, by the grace of God. Thank God for the union. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's when, that's when I guess a lot of guys do what they do. Man, they done protected me. I'm telling you, they did. I mean,
look at this part.
I slipped up when they fired me. Believe me, I had slipped up. Really, I thought I had it beat.
Terry, you over there chuckling pretty hard.
Terry got something he want to say. What
Terry chuckling hard.
You too, though, the union is tired of them too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the union can only do so much.
Yeah.
And the union, they busting their balls to keep the job for them, but and they got to do their job, but 3 strikes, ain't no more 3 strikes. You out the door the first time. Yeah. If you ain't gonna go work the program.
If you ain't gonna go through treatment, huh?
You got to come with some paperwork showing them what you're doing. Because mine was so bad. I had to send paperwork in, progress report, for they could see what I was doing on the outside, try to help myself.
Yeah, well, that was over 20 years ago. We're talking about the here and now.
Today is the same. We messed that system up. We really did. It ain't that lenient now, but they still won't fire you. You don't get as many passes as you did when we were coming up.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you don't get that many passes. You go in there, right. You don't get it. The contract ain't like that now.
That's what I was going to ask you. How has it evolved? Because, like you said, if you really look at the history of the plant, when you go back when the South migrated up to the North and got all them factory jobs and different things and the climate became, how has the plant evolved from just accepting alcohol or drug use being a norm to just trying to improve it today? How has it evolved?
They're not accepting it today. It's a whole different ball game up in there today. Anybody can smell you a mile away. Now that person might go tell on you.
Right. Yeah. Don't know nobody.
It's like that now. They telling on each other up in there.
Yeah.
You ask me. So
it's a whole nother generation of workers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, workers, they don't want it around them because you might hurt one of the workers that's working with you. They don't care for it no more. They don't want them in the plants no more. All that alcohol and all them drugs. They don't care for it no more.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good to know that they have, tightened up on that, because I never worked in a plant. I've had a people that I know that work in the plant. Now, they would always call it back in the day, this is how you date yourself, Peyton Place. You know, it was just everybody was like crazy in the plants. Is that still true?
Don't buy a Friday or Monday car, right?
Right. Oh yeah, that one too. That one too.
Yeah.
So what's life like for you today?
Beautiful thing for me. It's the best thing. Fellowship is the best thing that ever happened to me.
Okay. How long you been clean now?
Going on 21 years.
How long you got, Daryl?
19 years. March 18th. Yeah.
And I seen both of y'all grow up.
That's the day I got laid off. In 83,
you said that's the day you got laid off.
I got laid off in 83.
Drunk?
How'd you get laid off? How'd you get laid off, Terry? Tell us about that. Tell us how you got laid off. That's a good story.
I got laid off. I didn't have no seniority. This is back in 83.
Oh.
Well, I got laid off March 18th to 83. I didn't go back till what? April the 3rd or something back in 86.
And what you do all the time you was off? How did you get through?
I wasn't using. I was hustling. We had after I was joined. Tell them what I said, dude. We had after I was joined. I didn't use till I was 33.
Wow.
Yeah.
What you mean, drugs?
I graduated from high school. 12 years of using.
Didn't take but 12 years.
12 years. Yeah.
Wow. How long was you out there, Daryl?
Well, I was laid off in 80 for 3 years, but I drank from the 9th grade. I always drank, and even them 3 years I was laid off, I was a heavy drinker. I used to have the symptoms of the shakes and all of that. And then during the 3 years is when I kind of tried to, because I wasn't working and started trying to do a little hustle and got introduced to the drugs, and and the rest is history. Came my own best customer, and it went on, like that. It did. I was doing okay for a minute, but when that crack come about, that freebasing, I believe in 84,
a whole nother
and I got fascinated with a cloud in a bowl and tried that, and then the rest is history. Yeah.
So unfortunately, the alcohol was part of my job. My job was prostitution. I needed the courage out the bottle to even get started with the work of the business of the day.
She said the business of the day.
Thank God. Look, I retired now.
Well, you are still walking the streets, Sean. You're a street reporter now.
From the streets to street reporter. Who would have thought?
And on that note, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, Sean is going to do my favorite part, and she already knows what that is. We're going to take
that hope shot, baby.
That hope shot, baby. Get ready. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to also listen to some other real people sharing real stories about their own personal alcohol addictions. This is Tina and LaShawn, Daryl and Terry, keeping it real. We always keep it 100 right here on the Ask the Messengers TV show.
If you or someone you know is battling with any type of cancer, you need to read the book by Laverne Moore Slaughter, God Encounters Are Real. In her book, she tells how through prayer and faith, God healed her and set her free from stomach cancer. For more information and to get your copy, visit www.encountersarereal.net.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri, encouraging all taxpayers to please take advantage of the several payment options available. If you have to visit our office in person, you must make an appointment by going to treasurer.waynecounty.com. It only takes a few minutes. Facial covering or mask is required and social distancing is observed. You can also email our office at taxinfo@waynecounty.com or call us at 313-224-5990.
Underage drinking is responsible for more than 4,300 deaths of youth annually. DWI, especially when driving. If you are looking for resources to share with your loved one, give the Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network a call 24/7, 800-241-4949. Here to talk, here to help. More than 2.5 million Americans are addicted to opioids. The addiction is sometimes developed through the improper use of prescription painkillers. Using prescribed medication in ways or amounts not intended by a doctor is very dangerous. So it's important that unused prescriptions are properly disposed. 14949. Here to talk, here to help.
Well, alcohol is so socially acceptable. You know, it's legal. It's every place we go. It's around. It does take the edge off. You know, a hard day or whatever. When we're talking about overdoses, we're talking about maybe 70,000 for opioids last year, and we're talking about over 90,000 for alcohol. We as a society are so used to the alcohol overdoses, and I think that's even low, really, when you think about it, because a lot of times the alcohol overdoses, particularly in older people, are labeled as a fall or as a heart attack. So we don't have a real accurate number of any overdoses, but we have way more with the alcohol. It's costing, you know, we've got an inconvenient truth. We are a nation of addicts.
Have you ever overdosed off of alcohol? When I say overdosed, I mean like blackouts.
Yes, I have. I've done that a couple times, with, like hanging at parties or whatever, so yeah.
I didn't start drinking actually until I was about 19.
And how did that come about?
Well, I was using prescription pills before then, but I really did just fall in love with alcohol and the lifestyle that it brought. So it got pretty bad around 2021.
I've tried many different drugs. Don't knock it till you try it. And nothing ever was something I got addicted to or enjoyed. I just really fell for alcohol because it's legal.
It was my worst day of using, like, I can say probably when I had a real bad hangover and I was sick. My stomach was really turning and I couldn't eat or anything. It was really like, I was really sick. I hated it, really.
Okay, we are back. And as we said earlier, this is April, which is National Alcohol Awareness Month. This is the month, like all awareness months, awareness weeks, where people and the media and the news just try to drive home that alcohol, as you know, and if you didn't know it, you know it now. Yes, alcohol is a drug. It is one of the most dangerous drugs you could even consider picking up. That bottle starts off full, and trust me, as you emptying it, you really are emptying yourself. You just don't know it until you come into a 12-step program and reach out to a God of your own understanding. Trust me, I know. I'm a year and a few months in. Sean, she'll turn.
Okay, Terry, I would like for you to look into the camera and give somebody a hope shot that's maybe thinking about picking up alcohol for the very first time and don't know what road they about to go down. Give that person a hope shot.
Don't do it. It ain't worth it. It can turn your whole life around. That one shot, that one drink will make you be something that you ain't. So you don't want to do it, really. Back up. Don't let nobody encourage you to pick that bottle up. You ain't got to be around here like me. 20 years later, just learn how to live life on life's terms.
Daryl, look into that camera and give somebody a hope shot that's maybe thinking about picking up for the very first time and don't know what road they about to go down. Give them a hope shot.
Like Terry said, just don't do it. Drinking alcohol, it ain't as acceptable as it is to back in the day, unless you're around someone else that do it, you know, or the penalties are much higher when you get caught drinking and driving. The penalties is higher at work. And then it's so when you go around people don't want to be around, because a lot of people don't want to be around you when you're drinking because it changes you. So, you know, you thinking of drinking, don't, man. It'll interfere with your working, interfere with your money. You be so unmanageable on the way you live. And it ain't good. It ain't nothing to be proud of. You know, if you're thinking of drinking, don't think twice. You know, just get your life together, work, and be a productive member of society. That's about it.
And another thing, you ain't got to drink because everybody else drinking. You ain't got to do it. Forget what your friends do. Let them do what they do. You ain't got to pick up because they picking up. That's the main part, following the leader. Ain't no leader in that alcohol. It costs you. Costs you more than you think you're gonna cost you.
Yes, it will.
Thank you both for participating with us. Thank you for those hope shots. I would like to just say to the person watching this, don't do it. Keep your head up. If your name ain't on the bottle, it ain't yours to swallow. What was your drug of choice?
Alcohol.
And how old were you when you first picked up?
21.
And how did it come about?
I had my first drink with a very popular, famous producer. And I just took that drink because I didn't want to say no at 21 years old.
And how long did that last?
About 10 years, 10 plus years, maybe more.
And what was the moment that brought you to your knees where you said, look, enough is enough, I need some help?
I call it a spiritual awakening. One day I was just in my hotel room and I had like this overwhelming feeling to stop. Now it had been a few times where I told myself I was gonna slow down, so I would switch to like wine, only drink on the weekends. Anybody who's in recovery knows that does not work, you know what I mean? So one day I just had like this overwhelming feeling and I decided to stop. So I called everybody I loved and told them I was gonna stop. And I took all the steps to do it. I went to the hospital, I went to the church, I went everywhere, you know what I mean? And I haven't had a drink since.
Okay, and if you could say something to save a little kid out there that's maybe thinking about using, what would you say to that kid?
We got this need, we got this dying, deserving need to like fit in. Don't worry about fitting in, just be yourself. As soon as I laid back and I just decided to just be me and stand for just what I stand for and not follow the crowd, it's worked out well for me. Don't follow the crowd, don't just do things. It's called peer pressure, you know what I mean? Don't try to blend in with the crowd, you just be you, just do you.
Won't you help us to do exactly what our motto is, and that is to help save lives? Won't you send a generous donation to the information there on the screen? We would love to have you as part of our partnership to help save lives.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.